Hey, what up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you with the live continuous coverage of the WWE King of the Ring tournament being held live on the WWE Network. This is a very, very fun, very, very cool sort of thing that WWE Network is going to be doing. They pretty much have live um, footage going up every night, making the WWE Network must-see television, no longer an on-demand network. Of course, you can always go on and watch anytime you needed to, but with last night after Monday Night Raw, we had the debut of Jerry Springer's Too Hot for TV. Tuesday night, being tonight, we had the WWE King of the Ring, a 1-hour live tournament, live from the SmackDown tapings, making you tune in. Ever since main event left, Tuesday has been very wide open on the WWE Network. Wednesday is going to be the Mick Foley special. Thursday, Talk is Jericho with Stephanie McMahon. And then on Friday, it's going to be the Mayweather versus Big Show special. I know they've already done a WrestleMania recall, but they're going to be doing another 1-hour live special talking about it. So we're going to have to see how they pull this off. But tonight, the WWE King of the Ring 2015 came down. A really big opening with Jerry the King Lawler coming and introducing everybody and saying thank you for coming to the King of the Ring. It's always been one of those things on my bucket list. It was pretty hard if I wanted to get to this year's King of the Ring, seeing how they only gave you 2 days notice that it was going to be going down. But someday in my lifetime, I need to cross that off my wrestling bucket list to get to see King of the Ring. But the opening match of the night was Neville going up against Sheamus. This match ultimately was the same as a lot of Neville matches. Neville, the ultimate underdog, going up against the giant Sheamus. Sheamus, of course, played up that Neville was way smaller than he was, kept on sort of mimicking him as he's beating down on him inside of the ring, saying, "Little fellas don't belong in my ring." I don't really remember Neville getting much offense in during this match. It was just basically Sheamus just beating down on Neville, making him just pretty much laying. And when it looked like Sheamus was going to be beating up Neville and taking the win, Ziggler came out in Distraction Faction, just like how Sheamus came out during Ziggler versus Barrett in the first round on Monday Night Raw. Basically, when Ziggler came out, he replayed the ending of their match from Extreme Rules, basically with Sheamus picking up Ziggler, trying to hit him with the pile driver, and then Ziggler being able to cause the flip and roll him up for the 1, 2, 3. From there, basically Neville it was on the outside. Sheamus, being undistracted, went to go for the ultimate brogue kick to show Ziggler that he had this match under control. But, Neville was able to move out of the way. Sheamus ended up kicking the rope, getting hung up, throwing himself down to the ground. From there, Neville went up to the top, hit the red arrow, and was able to get the 1, 2, 3, moving himself on to the second round. From there, just like I thought, this tournament was going to be all about building up Ziggler versus Sheamus. From there, Ziggler said that he hadn't got the stipulation from Extreme Rules and said that he was there to collect and running down to the ring to attack Sheamus. Sheamus basically was trying to hit the ground and start running. About halfway through going up the ramp, I think that he figured out that he was embarrassed and he wasn't going to let Ziggler get the best of him. So he returned to the ring and the two men brawled until they were broken up by about 15 referees coming down out at the back. But a very fun match to open up the King of the Ring tonight, with Neville moving on to the finals to fight the winner of Wade Barrett against R-Truth in our next match. Alright, everybody, so the second round matchup here with the King of the Ring tournament going down. Bad News Barrett going up against R-Truth. Honestly, they did promos before all the matches, just like they did last night. But instead of doing little box promos on their way to the ring, they were actually interviewed backstage. Byron Saxton interviewed R-Truth, and R-Truth was going on and on about if he became King of the Ring, he was going to be getting declarations, and he was going to start making some rules around WWE, and he was going to be getting rid of all spiders. And to get rid of all these spiders, he was going to build his own castle. And the castle was going to have a moat built around it, and the moat. And then he started thinking about water spiders and how he was going to get rid of water spiders. And he said that he had to go because he had to go get ready for his match and make his way to the ring. But a very, very weird chain of events. Basically, with our R-Truth coming out there, as you would believe, Wade Barrett going up against R-Truth. Nothing really that spectacular about the match. It's just that R-Truth did get some offense in, but most of the time it was Wade Barrett beating down on R-Truth. And at one point, R-Truth was taking the advantage inside of the match. Wade Barrett was on the outside, and R-Truth leaned over the ropes to try and bring him back into the ring. Wade Barrett, when he didn't have the referee's eye on him, was able to stick a thumb into R-Truth's eye. R-Truth went to react, trying to sell the fact that his eye, he couldn't see out of his eye, and he went to turn around inside of the ring. By the time Barrett had slipped in and already had that bullhammer already cocked, locked, and loaded, boom! Lights out. 1, 2, 3. Bad News Barrett gets the win. Bad News Barrett moves on to the finals. So in the finals of tonight's King of the Ring tournament, we will see Neville going up against Bad News Barrett. 2 Englishmen going after the crown. Honestly, as Bad News Barrett was making his way to the ring tonight, I knew that he wore a cape because they have always had that point in his music when his boom and he drops the cape and he starts making his entrance. But I was just thinking of what he would look like in a cape, and I really didn't realize that he wears a cape every freaking time I see him. I just don't pay attention to his entrance all that much. But the main event coming up after this is going to be Neville going up against Barrett. They're showing a Gagne tribute video right now. I wonder how much time they're going to give him to rest, seeing how they only have 3 matches tonight, if they're going to be giving a special match or what they'll be doing. But more to come from there. In the finals of the King of the Ring 2015, it's been a while since we've seen one of these, but this was a very, very fun tournament. The tournament came down to Bad News Barrett going up against Adrian Neville. Neville, the new rookie coming right out of NXT. When the tournament was announced, and there wasn't even competitors that were added into this, I had called it that Neville was going to lose in the finals, and it was going to make him look stronger. By people getting built up thinking that he was actually going to win. And that was exactly the match that Barrett and Neville put on here. Early on in the match, Neville was able to bully, early on in the match, Barrett was able to bully Neville around, and Neville was able to fight back a few times. Neville was able to show out how strong he really is, even though he is a smaller guy. He was able to show his quickness and his speed. He was able to show that he was willing to go the distance. A very good thing was that Neville went for a high risk sort of move against Barrett, and JBL made the point of you can heal your body in however long it takes. And you might be hurt for a day, you might be hurt for 2 days, but you'll be king forever. It's worth taking that extra risk in this match. And twice, Neville was going on a roll in this match, and people were getting behind him, getting hot, thinking that he actually had a chance to win this. And that is how you actually build up a superstar. He is a mid-carder right now. Maybe someday later on down the road, when he does get a little bit more fan exposure, when he does get a little bit more of the the fans behind him, maybe he can move up and become a brighter spot in the WWE's future. But as of right now, becoming off of NXT, being a guy that, a lot of fans don't watch NXT. They really don't know who this guy is. They never watched him wrestle on the indies as Pac. Seeing this guy wrestle and actually getting the exposure of being on a I don't know if this was a special event, if this was a pay-per-view, whatever they're going to call this. Was it a bona fide, WWE main event show? I don't know, but it was fun, and I'm sure this is a tournament that we're going to remember, for a while in the future. But Neville, looked like he was going to be going for the red arrow, and he was going to be able to get the win. And Bad News Barrett was able to pull out the bullhammer elbow. Boom, knocking Adrian Neville out, and Barrett was able to roll him up for the 1, 2, 3. From there, we went to the King's coronation ceremony, where I thought we were going to get a bigger, longer speech from Barrett about becoming a bright spot in the WWE's future. Becoming the King of the Ring. Sometimes it really does pay off, and sometimes there's nothing to it. You can think of your last few Kings of the Rings with Brock Lesnar, Booker T, Sheamus. Some of these guys went on to have bright futures, and then there's always guys like Billy Gunn is an easy one to bring up. I know that Edge went on to have a bright future, but I honestly don't believe that Edge winning the King of the Ring was that big of a deal. Honestly, when you go back to the 2001 King of the Ring, Edge winning the King of the Ring was more about, breaking up Edge and Christian at that time. Also building up the Shane McMahon versus Kurt Angle match that was going to be going on in there. Very smart how they made sure that Angle would have to fight 3 matches before having to fight Shane McMahon in another match for their match of the night. Angle was booked twice because he wanted to be King of the Ring, and he also wanted to beat the piss out of Shane because Shane kept on getting in his face at the time. But fun stuff. Bad News Barrett. Would love to see what SmackDown and Monday Night Raw is going to be like, if this is actually going to matter for Barrett. Of course, everybody knows that Wade Barrett I'm a big fan of since around 2010 when he made his WWE debut with the Nexus. And even when he left the Nexus and he went to SmackDown to be the core, I thought that was going to be a big deal for him. So we'll see. Bad News Barrett is your new reigning WWE King of the Ring.